Hey Cancer, it's MJ from Auto Love. How are you? I hope that you're all doing really good. I'm just doing your shuffle for the December reading. If you're new to the channel, I'm MJ. I run an online lifestyle brand called Auto Love, and this is the YouTube channel. I've decided to focus almost solely on YouTube and to let rest some of the Instagram and Facebook sharing just to stay focused on the work. And I offer intuitive tarot, online coaching based on my book, The Fearless Life Guide, which is a step-by-step guide to spiritual awakening and transformation, ultimately. And normally the people that I work with on the coaching level are reading the book and sitting with the material and transforming their lives. The Be the Change courses are an option for people to make changes aligned with sustainability, spirituality, and freedom. And yeah, that's a bit of the juice about me. I'm a highly sensitive, intuitive introvert and empath. And so I offer my own unique perspective around paradigm shift energies on the planet and collective awakening. So Cancer, let's see what comes through the reading. If you are new here, I do intuitive readings, which means it doesn't really look anything like traditional tarot, other than some of the kind of meanings can relate. It's always my intention to offer divine guidance and loving clarity. The cards often just help to guide intuition, basically. So Cancer. Intuitive reading for Cancer. So I'm getting one of the cards when I shuffle, I will shuffle, and then every once in a while there'll be like a card that pops out, especially if it's in the Osho deck, because I sometimes don't use Osho, and then often will use Osho at the end of the reading. But sometimes when I'm doing a pre-shuffle, there's cards that come up, and I'll often take them. So the card that popped out of the Osho deck was the Fighting card, and I am getting a sense in this reading that the end of a relationship, the end of what was once believed to be like a soulmate union, and that relationship has ended. So I am hearing like divorce, and this has been quite a slow moving process. The Chariot in reverse has been a slow moving process, and then the Fighting card there tells me that possibly in this ending, in this death process of a relationship, there has been a lot of fighting. There's been a lot of back and forth. So I'm kind of getting a sense of like legal battles and, yeah, just a really slow moving process, which we know divorces can be thus, because we're having to disentangle entanglements, disentangle possibly a long-term relationship and or a poignant one, because anything that we once felt was the ever after, that we once were invested in and that we felt was an absolute soulmate charge, if that turns into fighting and then eventually a divorce, it's painful, right? It's like so that slow moving energy in the Chariot reverse is ultimately, to me, talking about the end of something, a divorce, the end of a long-term relationship, the end of a kind of soulmate union on one level. And then you're appearing here in the reading, Cancer. There's the Queen of Cups and a King of Cups, and the Knight of Cups there is in the reverse. So there could have been like a third party. You know, there could have been somebody who came in and fucked it up. Apparently. You know, but there's lessons to be learned within that. So straight up, this situation, this death, this ending of a relationship with all the fighting has sort of knocked your sense of love. It's some of you are just feeling a bit disempowered when it comes to the idea of love, when it comes to the idea of, you know, soulmate relationships and all that kind of stuff. It's like you don't believe in it anymore. The King and Queen of Cups here is sort of feeling to me like you're focused more on your own union. You're focused more on your own coming into greater harmony and balance in your emotional seat, in your emotional awareness. And when it comes to love, in that regard, you're kind of cutting it out. You're cutting out the idea of that love, and you're not really accepting any offers right now. I do get a sense, Cancer, you're still a little bit carrying. That's why that fighting card flipped out of the Osho deck. So whoever this is resonating with, you're still carrying that fighting energy. So some advice or just some clarity around the, if this is resonating again, like a court battle or a legal battle that is taking its sweet time, the judgment goes in your favor and you will end up receiving pentacles, because there's the 9 of Pentacles. So that means that in the end, the judgment goes in your favor and you end up like, okay, basically like in your power. You end up with enough, more than enough pentacles to feel good about it, basically. Feel good about the decision. Yeah. This makes sense. So the Temperance card has popped up, and the Temperance card is sort of like shining on the whole situation around, and then it highlights this King Queen of Cups idea that really you're wanting to come into a greater harmonic balance within yourself. So it's like what you're endeavoring now, especially if this resonates with judgment going in your favor, and like you can kind of breathe some fresh air around the decision that was made in this battle, as it were, this fight, this divorce, this ending. It goes in your favor, so you end up feeling sweet around the money. You can kind of breathe a little bit around like, fuck a doodles, what's gonna happen? And then you're really focusing on yourself. You're focusing on finding that sovereignty and that emotional seat of power within yourself. So it's like you're wanting to unify the King and the Queen of Cups and come into your sovereignty, basically, and a unified sense of self, and to kind of let go and cut out this idea of, and more, I would say it has to do with the distorted idea of love, the fantasy of the idea of love. That's ultimately what you're working on here. It's like the falsehood of the mental construct that when we find love, everything is going to be fine. When we find the one, when we find that person, then everything works out for us. That didn't work out. You've ended something here, and yet you're still fine. You're still actually in your sovereignty. And the Temperance card, I would say, if you're not doing it, this is what now is coming in for you, and you're endeavoring to embody a greater sense of wholeness, Because the Temperance card, she's an angel that is completely sovereign and whole. And the balancing here of the water, you know, moving the waters from one cup to the other, that's an aspect of our self-care and our integrity as a whole being, you know. And like having your feet firmly planted on the ground, making sure that you're relating to nature and you're grounded and on the earth with the elements of the earth, and at the same time you're not in denial of your angelic wisdom, you're not in denial of your intuition, which so often when these long term or when these endings of cycles come in, it's ultimately taking us to a new level of love. It's bringing us to a new and higher perspective in our bodies. You know, like the Temperance card, her feet are on the ground. She's not floating up middle of the sky, you know, talking about all this spiritual stuff. She's in her body on the ground, but her angel wings are present. The halo of divine sight, right? That is present. The integrity and balance that comes from within the heart, and really kind of, so one being in body, you know, being in the angelic kingdom and being connected to the cosmic wisdom that we are as one being. So you're ultimately endeavoring this union more than focusing externally on a knight in shining armor or some beautiful princess coming in to save you kind of thing. So you've been through enough of the fighting. This ending has happened, this death has happened, this end of a possibly long-term relationship or marriage has ended, and yet judgment is singing in your favor. The judgment is a positive judgment call from the above that is bringing you into greater sovereignty and ultimately bringing you into union with self. Ha. I'm just getting two more. So, okay, that's pretty clear. For some of you, if you're still really struggling to release, to let go, to move beyond the fighting that you've been in, it's saying go celebrate. And only if this is resonant with you, Cancer, but this to me really does mean like go celebrate. Let loose, let your hair down, go have a drink with some friends, go dancing with some friends, you know? Do whatever you need to do to just kind of take your mind off of the past. Because the Nine of Swords here, it's also in the reverse, so that's really telling me it's in your past. You know, you don't need to harbor, you don't need to carry that fighting energy, that loss of the marriage or loss of the long-term soulmate relationship, whatever pain you endured, whatever sleepless nights you've been enduring, it is over. The death is in the reverse. It's over. It's done. You know, you've been moving slowly through this case, this legal battle, this battle of some level, but you won the battle, and the sovereignty card is yours. The Nine of Pentacles, you got all the resources you need. Now go out and have fun and remember more of your essence. Remember more of your own divinity. And when you need to, practice self-care. Practice the Temperance card, you know. I'm hearing go make a splash. Go have fun. The celebration, the Three of Cups there is ultimately what's going to help you come back into union, come back into this, like, it's like being excited to be alive and participate. Yeah, it's all the same advice for you, Cancer, for those of you who are resonating here. It's all the same advice of go have fun. Yeah. You're in a fool phase now. You can't go back to the past. You're not rushing. You're not even wanting to rush forward, I'm hearing. You know, you're not even wanting to go out and find a new relationship. I feel like you just want to have a good time. You want to start remembering who you are in your sovereignty and integrity to then take a leap into some new realms, you know, participate, go out with friends. I feel some of you maybe haven't done this in quite a while. You've been really in the shits, as it were, of going through this battle, and I feel like it's been won and you're a bit like, now what? So temperance card, maybe taking yourself on a retreat, a weekend retreat, a detox, a adventure holiday, I don't know, and then have the Fool energy, as in these are all part of it. Take a leap, go somewhere new, go somewhere different. Call some friends that maybe you haven't seen in a while. Let's go for drinks, let's go dancing, you know, participate in the I'm hearing something about participate in your own charm again. You know, remember your charm, remember your ability to just have fun before, you know, all this shitty endings started to befall you. So temperance, the Fool, participate, go have fun. Those are your sort of advice cards for coming out of this fucking shit fighting energy. Oh, and then you know, yeah, you're not looking for offers. You're not even taking any new offers right now. I feel like you're just wanting to come into greater balance with yourself, which again, if you offer yourself the temperance, if you believe in yourself when it comes to finding that holy union within self, everything's lining up. Everything's going to be just fine for you, Cancer. You've got the sovereignty, judgments in your favor. There's a brand new beginning. You're just going to have to take it. And then take it with a grain of like a grain of salt, as in be light about it. Be light about the festivities. Be light about going on a retreat. Be light on yourself ultimately, because the union of you being in your seat of power is right here. It's right down the central theme of the reading. Everything else is not that important to you right now. So temperance, have fun, participate in life, but do it from within your own power. Do it from within your own knowing your truth, knowing your power. And then go make a splash. Yeah, have courage. Go make a splash. Go use your money wisely. Use your money to make investments, to reach out to people, to, you know, offer your good graces to people. But again, from within that sovereignty self. And then dissolve and let go of those old false mental constructs of how you think love should be or how you believe love needs to be fulfilled, and endeavor a bit more self-love in yourself for your own life, and then create a bit of a community around how you desire to participate in life again. Celebrate with your friends, have fun, trust in this new beginning. You're definitely at the new beginning. And this is something, this has been a transition for so many of this new paradigm community. It's like even maybe 5 months ago, there were still a lot more of energies of like being in the manipulation and or just coming in to address certain things. And now we're coming into like, there's a lot of Fool energy in a lot of these readings. There's a lot of like, okay, you know, we've been through this, we've done this, we've gone through these effing cycles, this is ended, this is beginning. But part of this transformational energy is at some point taking the step. You know, it's one thing to talk about it or to book these readings, but then it requires us to actually take the steps in these new beginning energies. So trust it, basically. If you're wanting to make a move, if you're wanting to, you know, move beyond any of the suppression energies of your past, any, you know, feeling like you don't have enough, go make friends. You've got a lot of abundance, Cancer. Go make friends. I'm just hearing people want you. People want you. And for whoever this reading is resonating for, like, I can't help but feel like you've been through it. You've been in a shitty relationship, and or it could have been beautiful. You know, it's not for lack of love. It's not that. It's that we often outgrow situations and people, right? And you have, and then often near the end, but the end of a long-term relationship could be like a 3-year thing or a 6-year thing, possibly. Like an end is happening over all of these years, and over those years, there harbored a lot of mounting toxicity, hence the fighting card. So you might have been kind of fighting with this person for quite a while, before the ending actually happened. And so you're like, and so now you're just beginning to remember who you are and wanting to make friends and wanting, and because you're exhibiting with the sovereignty, with the Nine of Pentacles and the Abundance card from the Osho deck, whoever this is for, you have a lot. You have a lot to give. You're very desirable. You're very charming. So it's like, go make friends. Find that fiery courage that you have. Find that love that you have for yourself. And then make moves to set forth in the world again. Be a bit like a fool, you know? Be a bit like a fool and just take a leap into some new community endeavors, maybe a new kind of sense of working life, although I feel like you're kind of well adjusted in that area. But there's definitely a sense of participation. For some of you, if you're mega abundant, it could be philanthropic endeavors, maybe something that your partner never wanted you to do, or like, you know, stuff like that, things that you might have felt suppressed by in your past cycles. It's time to kind of do do everything you ever wanted to do, basically, that you felt maybe your past cycles limited you, or the people that you used to surround yourself with limited you or tried to control you. You have the Midas touch here, Cancer. So whatever it is you're creating, it's something very fruitful and very abundant. So just keep believing in it, basically. Keep believing. And if there's these new foolish type of beginnings, go for it. Because there ain't any energies wanting to hold you back. It's really a matter of you holding on to that fighting, like, rah, life is so shit, or just fuck it. Go have fun. Start fresh. Try some new things. You're abundant. You know how to look after yourself. You're emotionally coming into balance. So everything is looking really good in this reading. Happy December, Cancer. If that resonated, feel free to book a private reading. If you're wanting to have some coaching sessions around certain niggly life things, then feel free to book a perspective call. If you look over on the community page, I've posted a shout out. So you can grab a deal as well right now until the end of the month. So have a great day, you guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace out.